So, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour has arrived. And, really, we don't have to introduce him, but only out of formality because he deserves it. We all know who he is. One of our top SVPs in the industry. He is a health guru, as Mr. Thomas always states. He's a leader and mentor to many. And if you honored to be one of his close friends, that is an amazing thing. Been a close friend of mine. And I remember my first time meeting him, I was like, man, why is everybody gravitating toward him? But he has that type of energy. And I've always thought of him as the Michael Jordan of our company. That's the man that we have today. And I'm going to say this one last thing. I know we all have probably heard this quote, your network determines your net worth. Have y'all heard that before? This gentleman right here, if you look that up on Google, you will find a picture of him. And I'm glad to be a part of his network. So hopefully my network continues to rise as well. So without further ado, Dr. Byron Nelson, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. A nice little blue going on, button all the way up to the top, like I got the tie on. Hold on, I'm gonna put a suit on this. Tell people put a suit on your money. I'll put a suit on me. It's nice linen and got my yes, yes. And I love your haircut today, Bree. Bree said I wrote out exactly what I wanted people to hear about me, and Bree read it exactly the way it was supposed to be. Did he do a phenomenal job? I'm totally kidding. We could talk about each other until the sun comes up tomorrow. I have so much genuine love and respect for Jabri. He's just, Mr. Clemens is just one of the most extraordinary. And I'm not saying this. I mean, for those that might be new on here, you may think that, we say this out of stage or out of obligation. First of all, you'll find out that I don't say anything out of obligation except for what my spirit tells me. If I don't like you, I'll tell you I don't like you, because I give into the universe what I want back. If you don't like me, don't act like you like me. Tell me you don't like me so I can move on with my life. It's okay. It's not personal. Does that make sense? Are y'all following? Just Najee, if you're with me. But if I like you, if I love you, you won't even have to ask, because my actions would. And write this down. Your actions speak so loud, nobody can hear what you say. Your actions speak so loud, nobody can hear anything that you have to say. And so my actions are really being able to give back love and respect and honor, and truly honoring Mr. Clemens is because of my voyeurism. That means, yes, I like watching people. Through a glass, where a two-way mirror where they can't see me, and his selflessness and his servitude and his commitment to go the extra mile for himself and everyone around him. I promise you, if you guys ever are blessed enough to know this man, is beyond adjectives, and it's consistent. You'll hear me say some of these words in my training this morning. It's consistent. It's one of those things. Some things, I say the most things in being successful, you can learn. But some things are just innate for people that know the vernacular and understand the word. You're born with it. You can't teach it. It just comes with you. Certain people that have a specific, that, you could talk about A types, right? Or people that have that discipline to do things that others like, I just can't do that, right? Some people are born with special gifts. And one of his special powers is truly living in a state of excellence, his commitment to truly serving others. Now, how many of you know, if you walk with somebody, they could be different in front of you or in public versus in private? You guys know people like that? It's very rare to meet someone who is consistent in who they are in private as they are in public. And that is who Mr. Clemens is. So when you can actually spend time talking great, and look at it from this perspective. How many times do you hear men talking great about another man? It's not often. I mean, unless they have become a demigod in some capacity, right? Like a Tony Robbins or a Jack Canfield or, an Al Thomas, or prayerfully, some people believe that in me. But it's not, and I say demigod, not in a deified fashion, but from a fan perspective of respecting what they have accomplished. But when you have people that are within your space, that you can transparently speak about and feel great about saying it, people are like, why are you talking so good about the person? Because if you knew what I knew, you'd be talking about them too. So that being said, I just want to give my flowers to my boy. I love him. Mr. Clements is an angel. He is a gift, as is Mr. Thomas, for creating this space for us to be able to have this morning. So that being said, let's jump in the water. Let's get right into the jacuzzi. Let's bubble this thing up. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Just nod your head. You feeling? If you're happy that you woke up, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hand. No, if you're happy and you woke up, just nod your head, clap your hands. Just because when I came into the office this morning, driving here to this office, I literally was having a conversation with God, just excited about being alive. Excited about being alive. And I had this conversation with one of my partners yesterday. She's a quick study. Well, when she gets it, she's quick. She's gonna beat me up after I get off this call. But it's like I talked to her about her energy. And I said, you gotta change your energy when you show up to talk to people. I don't care who it is. Now, are we all gonna have some down days? Are we all sometimes in a monotone space? Are we all sometimes very much, boots on the ground, 5-star general? We got to get things done, and there is no life in the conversation except for to execute action. Yes. But when dealing with people, especially individually or in a public setting, there's the number one thing. I'm going to give you what I call the ingredients to my soup for success. Some of you guys got, and Bree has an amazing clip on me of doing a couple weeks back, the gumbo for success. See, I like different meals. I like to mix it up. You guys with me on so far? I like eating the same thing every day. So I'm going to give you the soup today. I'm going to call it my pho. For those that know what that is, this is some good soup. Gets you some good pho, boy. Slap your mama. Tell you right now. So I'm gonna get you some soup for success. And I'm gonna tell you, don't look at just me. Look at some of the faces on here. Are they attentive? Are they excited? Do they look like they just woke up? Do they look like they're the walking dead? I'm gonna tell you, you are your calling card. You are your business card. Everything in your face. I am a master at reading energy. I'm telling you right now. Some people are just like, I'm just waiting. Some people look like I got one foot in the grave, like I'm just here waiting for the next thing. Okay. And it's like, it depends. And the universe will give you back what you put out. Yeah, you want to write that down. Uni being one, verse being song. For those that are spiritually inclined, then you'll truly understand that Jesus was the word before he became Jesus. So then the power of using words and being able to manipulate them properly. And see, it's funny how people will actually sit up there and hear manipulate and think that that's a bad word. Just like when people hear convict, they think that's a bad word. Convict is not a bad word. It means con from the Spanish. If you go to the root of it, con is with in Spanish. Are you guys with me on that so far? Conviction. So what you're talking about is what I'm convicted to. Does not necessarily mean you spent a 5-year bid, by the way, though it could. Let's say it doesn't. Convict means you're convicted to something. When somebody says you're a convict to me, I'm convicted to what I do. I have personally given myself a lifetime bid for success. I've already sentenced myself to excellence. I've already raised the bar for extraordinary. I've already taken, I stood in front of the judge for giving back. I stand now as if I stand in front of my Christ to say, judge me today. That's the way I wake up now. Do I always operate the way I should? No, I didn't say that. We aren't going to play holier than thou. But I am going to tell you that I wake up with the hopes of why I said, wake up, clap your hands if you know it, if you're happy, with a certain. This is number one in the ingredients. I'm giving the ingredients for success here. It's called attitude. That's what all this is about right here. And you want to be able to learn in attitude when you start to massage it and you start to saute it and you're cutting it up and you're getting ready to put it in the bowl for soup. You want to make sure that it's primed properly for those that know how to cook. Yes, this black man know how to cook. So you want to put it together and massage it properly. And you want to make sure, listen, Linda, listen, that you live unapologetically. You don't want to have to apologize to nobody. You do not want to dress your pig up, put lipstick on it for other people to like it. Do not let your light dim because of other people. Do not live small for other people. You know the hardest thing to do on the planet Earth? You want me to tell you one of the hardest things to do on the planet Earth is taking a big idea and put it into a small mind. I'll tell you right now, it doesn't fit. I'm gonna say it again. I want y'all to get that. I hope somebody caught that. I'm gonna slow down so somebody. Right now it's in marinating. The pot's just on the stove. I'm gonna let it go real slow so you can get this. Because it's gonna taste good. Do not attempt to put big ideas into a small mind. Do not attempt to put your big personality into a dead body. You are not. Does your name say is? Unless your name is Jesus from a Latin rich, there might be one on here, but I'm telling you, unless your name is Jesus, your job is not to wake the dead. And some of y'all are so optimistic, you still standing out the stone, hoping after 3 days of being buried, he gonna walk out. Whoever it is that you standing and waiting for, you should have left a long time ago. That already happened. Somebody gonna get this if you're spiritually aligned. I'm just saying. It's that attitude. That attitude of being excited, of being ignited, of being enlightened, of being able to walk in your purpose and in your intention. Please write it down. Walking in your purpose and doing things on intention unapologetically. Now, you may say, well, what does this have to do with our business? Everything. Whatever your business is, by the way, your business, I hope you guys get this. I'm giving you a whole lot. I'm on one this morning. I'm just warning y'all. I'm just warning you. You are your business. You don't have to worry about clients, customers. People are like, well, what do you do? I'm an architect. What do you, I love architect. What do you do as an architect? I build lives and I build businesses. If you need your income built, I add a comma to it. If you like to travel, I got a travel agency. If you are paying too much, what do? I have a wholesale business for health. That means whatever you do from a health perspective, I promise you, I can get you better than what you currently have and better benefits with better doctors available to you. I master the art of financial literacy. The 3 best words in financial literacy are equity, residual income, and compounding interest, the 8th wonder of the world. How do you find your clients? I don't. They find me. My light is so big, I'm a lighthouse. They only find me when they're lost, or when they need direction, or when they want to collapse timeframes. What I've mastered, if you want to understand what Dr. Nelson does, is I take you where you want to be in 5 years, and I help you get there in 2 to 3 years. If you follow the instructions, I become your GPS. But if you think you know better, I mean, think about it. It's like, do you understand? I've been doing financial literacy this week in my course all week. And what's amazing to me is people that think they have $1 million actually think they have some money. We've been talking about it all week. Do you understand? 7 figures, $1 million makes you broke today. Now, this is not to make somebody who doesn't have $1 million feel bad. This is not objectifying. This is not pointing fingers. It is a wake up. This is your coffee for Friday morning. Fantastic Friday. Are you guys with me on this so far? It's a wake up call to understand $1 million in 1985, even 1990, even 2000. That was something to talk about. 2022, did you not keep the ratio of depreciation and inflation in play? Because your eggs 3 years ago now cost at least 40% more. So does your milk. Have you not watched your gas? But somebody who didn't have $1 million told you that $1 million was a lot of money, and you actually bought it because in your journey of growing, that's what we were told. I'm a millionaire. You got to listen. You got to listen. You got to listen. The greatest minds on the planet don't hear what you're saying. They listen to what you're saying. If you go back to an indigenous people, if you go back to Native Americans, if you go back to Africa, if you go back to India, if you go back to Aztecs, all the way back to South America, I've traveled all over the world to study history and understand people. They didn't have compasses. They didn't have all these tools. They put their head to the ground and they would listen. They could actually hear where people were coming from, where the animals were going. They can feel the air. They could tell you when a storm was coming. They could tell you when it was going to rain. They could tell you when it was going to snow. They could tell you when the season was going to change. They could see and hear things all the way back in the day. They didn't have all these machines. They could actually follow the North Star, take you miles. They built Aztecs without machines. They built, mountains. They built, are you guys following me on this so far? What am I sharing with you? The greatest people that live in the top 2-3 percentile are not really that extraordinary. They just have aligned themselves with original skills and tools that other people have been given, microwavable tools, and you have been redirected into a mindset with Kool-Aid that's been served to you that was controlled by people who had money before you to educate you. Think about this. Think about this. You went to school for at least 12 years. You went from kindergarten to 12th grade. Some of you went on to undergrad. You have forced like me. Some of y'all went on to graduate school. Some of y'all went on and got doctorates. Okay. In what class, anywhere in 12 to 17 years, they say you took a class and said, we're going to teach you how to get rich. Did somebody take that class? I missed it. Did I miss class that day? Did they have a class at your school? I understand I'm from the South Side of Chicago. I understand maybe my color, it put me in a default position. Maybe that was it. But as I've gotten older, I think it's applicable to every color, white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, every persuasion. I think we all went to the same school, just some had better teachers at the wrong Kool-Aid. Did any of you have a class that said, yes, you have changed your generational tree 101. Leave a legacy 202. How to wake up when you finish sleeping 303. How to make more money while you're asleep 404. How to build residual income 505. Eighth wonder of the world, compounding interest 606. Never rent, always buy 707. Build your personal credit so you never have to use it 808. Never let your credit go under a 720 909. How to use business credit and get a $50,000 credit card instead of a $5,000 credit card, because we're going to ruin you in this class called taxes. Or did you have to learn that after they gave you the Kool-Aid for about 12 to 18 years? See, that's what this is about, living on intention. You know why I like this space right here? It's volunteer. You're here by volunteer. I don't like people you have to pay to show up, because they're going to go and get what they need to go and get with. But when the most valuable thing that you can ever pay with is your time. The most valuable currency that you will ever own is your time. For you to give up the time to be here this morning and be able to share this right now is everything. That's more valuable to, it is just priceless. So as I'm making the soup, because right now I have the attitude over here, it's just, I got to let it sit over here, just kind of sit. So let me get this over here. This other ingredient, we're gonna have to peel it. It's called goals. We're gonna have to peel this thing called goals. They say the only person that ever hits, there's only one person on the planet who hits their goal 110%. There's one person on here that's it's a certain type of person, and there's a lot of them, by the way. And it's amazing how many people are amazing at 100%. And you got to appreciate them. You got to appreciate the person that always hits their goal. Let me get some water. Where's more water? You know the person always hits their goal. Anybody know that person always hits their goal 110%? The one who doesn't have one. I'm telling you right now, the person that hits their goal 100% of the time is the person who don't have no goals. I'm just saying, just saying. It's amazing how they miss out on that. See, that's that little turmeric you want to put in there. That goal right there will make all the difference in the world, but it's so strong. If you touch it, it'll stain your hands a little yellow. But it's one of those things that's the best for the body. You got to put a little turmeric in there. That little turmeric is called goals. And the key behind goals is not setting them, it's achieving them. Many leaders and many thought leaders and many coaches will tell you, you got to have goals, you got to have goals. But they don't go about teaching you how to acquire or reach those goals. You need to set yourself up for realistic goals that stretch you. Right now, what's on your bathroom bed? I'll tell you what's in my bathroom mirror right now. A check that I wrote to myself. I'll tell you what's on there. My goals that I see them every day. How many people have their goals on their mirror every time? Don't raise your hand. I was just asking, in your mirror. Because you got to brush your teeth. Hopefully, you guys brush your teeth at least twice a day. Otherwise, you got bad breath and nobody wants to see you. But let's just say, I mean, you should have your goals, at least 5 solid goals. What's your body type, what you want to do as far as how much weight do you want to lose, or how much. For me, it's really what I want as far as, how much body. Mine is not how much I want to lose or how much I want to weigh. It's really how much body fat I want on. So I know I'm at about 13, 14. I need to get it down to a solid 11 ripped. I have my goals there. I have my financial goals there. What goals do you have there? I have my spiritual goals there. I have my family goals on that list. I have my financial goals, my family goals, my spiritual goals. I have everything that I have as far as what my body fat is going to be. I have a journal in which I draw, literally. I have the type of people I want in my life, who are my confidants, who allows me to listen, who doesn't allow me to listen. See, the only time I've been noticing people get into depressions and isolating, and it was part of the pandemic, and it's part of circumstances. It's part of, you got to understand, when I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday. And I was like, what is wrong with you? I just have so much anxiety. How the hell do you have anxiety when you have amazing people in your life? Because you didn't choose to be amazing and you didn't choose to use the resources that you have. Everybody wants to attempt to do it on their own. Stop being Moses. And then in turn, you got to understand, either you're attracting or you're deflecting. Either you're pushing people away or you're bringing people in. If you feel isolated, it's because of how you are, because of what I say in the first one, attitude. That attitude is really an antenna. I need you guys to really understand that. I'm going to keep circling back to that. The attitude is an antenna. It's going to bring you, I thought of somebody, oh my God, they just called me. That wasn't coincidence. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Everything is energy. You sent out an energy. They felt you, they heard you all of a sudden. And if you get great at being able to truly navigate energy, you will be you'll become a wonder, you will become a Marvel child. You will become a superhero. Because it is a superhero trait that everyone has. They just haven't developed the skill within them. Now, how can you say that, Miss? How can you say that, Doc? How can you say everybody has this superhero, trait to be able to just call upon the universe and get what they want? Because I don't have time to give you a biology class. Your body is filled with molecular structures of nothing but cellular energy. It's going to call upon the universe. It is a magnet, and that magnet can be where it draws in. It can also be where it deflects, depending on man. All that mess that's in your life, you attracted it. All those blessings in your life, you attracted it. I had Don working on my arm the other day. I was like, why is my elbow like right here? I was like, I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm feeling like I'm ready to go, let's go get it in. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, boy, but it's like this pain is like right here, right when I do my tries. And you tell me anything I didn't know, but I have him there as my sounding board. That's why he's one of my confidants. He said, that's not where the problem started. You weren't listening to your body. It started way before then. It just showed up there. Is anybody getting that conversation? The challenges and the points of pain in your life, that's not where the problem is. It just showed up there. You weren't listening. You weren't paying attention to the challenge before it became a problem, before it became a brush fire. You got to learn how to listen. Customers, clients, are nothing more than your law of attraction. I'm going to say that again. The clients that you seek are nothing more than your law of attraction. They're everywhere. I thought about this yesterday. I was like, man, I'm actually scared to go out. That sounds crazy, right? I'm scared to go out because I know my law of attraction is going to bring me more people than I can work with. I have more than enough people that I'm already responsible for that I have to work with. I don't want any more on my plate right now. Now, me and God are having this conversation. He's like, you know what? I have somebody waiting for you that can actually make all those people a lighter load and make it easier and take the burden off of you. By the way, we're talking about leadership now. Write down knowing, how do I know if I have a leader on my team? How do I know? That's the question always, because you need to have a squadron. You need to have an unstoppable squadron. I mean, you need a tribe. It says it takes a village to build to raise a child. True story. But what they're really saying, it's metaphorical. It takes a village to birth a dream. Write it down. It takes a village to birth a dream. You have to do a heart surgery. You want to make sure you have an amazing squad. You want to build a house. You want an amazing squad. You want to sell real estate. Amazing squad. You want to build a team and dominate the health industry. Amazing squad. Travel it. Amazing squad. Anything that you do, there is never one person in the center of it that is a standalone. One of the things that I dislike when I'm presented around the world is he's independently wealthy. He is an independent multimillionaire. No, there is nothing independent about me. There's a whole lot of people in my village that contribute to me being wealthy. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me on that so far? There's no one person that achieved greatness without a tribe. And if you don't have a tribe, you need to go find you a tribe. And by the way, you're sitting in one right here. Shame on the person that's been in the family that has access to a Dr. Byron Nelson, a Mr. Al Thomas, a Mr. Clemens, and the list goes on, a Renata Krumer, some of the greatest leaders. I mean, I've been blessed. And I don't have time to look at all the faces of all the great leaders on here. Brian Baker's on here. You got some amazing people that are extraordinary. Shame on you for ever hitting a spot and living in a space. Jocelyn, yes, my sister's on here. Get the hell out of here. Hey, baby, I love you. I'm sorry, I digress. I love you. I miss you, Jocelyn. So anyway, what I'm sharing with you is shame on you if you have a Jocelyn Driscoll, some of the greatest people, and you don't reach out to them. and you don't connect with them, and you don't check on them, but you have such great reverence for them. People that can, oh, I call them the magicians. I call them the wizards and the queens of the land. They open up doors for you that you can't open up. They walk the land, they walk the path that you want to walk. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Why wouldn't you be I would be the most, I have been the most annoying gnat in these people's lives. Respectably so, put it before I put myself in harm's way. Respectfully so, okay? We'll have that lesson. But you should be the most, let me not say annoying. Let me be very careful. God, I retract that word. The most persistent gnat. You should be that person that is always on their radar until you become the person that is always on a tribe's radar. Did that make sense? Are you guys following that so far? When they think of somebody to use as an example, you know what? Because everything is stories. I'm gonna get back to the soup in a second, but stories is in there. Are you guys with me? So write down stories. It's amazing how a person actually, I mean, I understand that, you know, Sue, I understand Terry, that some things have happened and you can't make it to the event. I see that you can't, that some things are going on. But let me tell you about this woman I know. Her name is Mrs. Driscoll. She lost her husband, and within less than a week, she still showed up to an event. You know why? Because her conversation with God was, my husband would want me to always show up for the people that were counting on me. Amazing story, true story. You need to live into the experience of a story. You need to become the story. Not just get great at telling other people's stories, but you need to be able to have those knockdowns and use that. It's the difference of the 97.3%. The 3% use their knockdowns as fuel. The 97 use it as an excuse. The 3% use that as fuel. I think about all the adversity I have in my life right now. I think of all of the objections I have in my life right now. I think of all the obstructions I have in my life. I shouldn't be, if you guys have, when I hear people say they got problems, I'm like, please take mine, because mine will make you would have jumped off of a building a long time ago. I don't want to hear about, you complain about your feet, be happy you got some damn feet. You sit up there talking about my arm hurts, chop it off. Be happy you got an arm. You talking about my family, you better be happy you got a family. You need to live in gratitude. It's a demographic. It's a zip code. It is a zip code to live in massive gratitude. So when we're talking about the attitudes, and we're talking about goals, and we're talking about customers, we're talking about prospects, everyone's a prospect. The only person that ever says no to me is someone who doesn't have enough information or they're stupid. It's just the way I feel. I mean that personally and business-wise, in every capacity. You say no to me, either you're stupid or you don't have enough information. Now, I don't say that to them. That's just my attitude. I don't believe that you can go after anything that is not yours unless you don't want it bad enough, or unless it was not called upon you, it was not upon your purpose. Your steps are ordered. Please read between those lines. Did everybody hear what I said? I always listen what I'm saying. Listen. I always mess up when I make it about me. I always get it right when I make it about him. You can't desire something that was not attainable unless it breaks universal laws and God laws. I don't have time for that road. But for your imagination, for your goals, for your dreams, you cannot imagine having a house. You cannot imagine feeding the kids. You cannot imagine blessing thousands of people. You cannot imagine being a great teacher. You cannot imagine being a great student. You cannot imagine having an extra 7, 8, 9 figures in your account to be able to bless other people, not to sit up there and be flossy and flexy. You cannot imagine a life of massive abundance. You cannot imagine a life filled with love. You cannot imagine being loved on, authentically, smothered. I just can't take no more. Please keep loving me. You can't imagine it unless it was already yours. So how do I get it? You must become everything that you want. Oh, somebody gonna miss that ingredient right there. Dang, right now. You got it, Dave? David got it. You must become everything that you want. You want love? You must become love. You want forgiveness? You must become forgiveness. You want respect? You must become respect. You want a great leader on your team? You better become a great leader. You attract everything that you are. Your quiet desperation serves nobody except for the devil. Let me repeat that. Your quiet desperation serves nobody but the devil. And I'm going to be honest with you. You can't know euphoria and greatness until you know the lows and take the L's. You can't know God until you have met the devil. You got to go through the one who has, let me put it like this. If you got problems in your life, you're on the right track. The bigger your problems, the bigger your reward. If you are not challenged in your life, if you are not frustrated in your life, if you are not pissed off in your life, then you are not living. You're waiting to be buried. You have blessings. You're just on the wrong street. God has angels. He sends them to your house like DHL and just like UPS, Federal Express, but you weren't home to receive it. You were out there chasing the wrong thing. Sometimes you just need to be still. Somebody gonna get this message this morning. I'm telling you this, I need more than an hour for this conversation. Sometimes you just need to be still. I want to encourage you and leave you to be able to go find your tribe. And your tribe starts with, who are you following? You should establish a standing conversation with them once a week. If it's Renata, if it's Jocelyn, I don't care if it's Alzheimer's, whoever it is, you should ask them for 10 minutes a week. You know what I did with my attorney? When I was young, this was when I was 23, 24. That was last year. So when I had my attorney, y'all gonna catch that. So when I had my attorney at 23, 24, I remember having a mastermind and I was working on a duplex. And I had my promotional business. I owned a nightclub and I had a whole lot of promotions going on. Might have been 25, can't remember. And he sat there because he actually believed in me. I'll never forget. He actually is the one who brought me Tyrese. Some of you guys know who Tyrese is. Anyway, he's a singer, actor, Fast and Furious. In fact, so that you guys know, in ACN, he was actually one of my first 10 people with Sinbad that I brought into the business. Before he actually did the Coca-Cola commercial. So I'll never forget, Daryl was sitting there with me. And I gave Daryl $10,000 because Daryl backed all of my plays. He believed in me. He knew what I was doing. He had access to the entertainers because he wrote all the contracts, but he also did, business litigation. And we sat in a mastermind one time, and I sat there and I wrote him a check for, I believe it was at the time either $10,000 or $20,000. Don't quote me, but I think it was definitely 5 figures that I did not have. I mean, I had it, but I didn't have it. And he looked at me. And he's just looking at me. He's like, and I won't tell you what he said because we have a little ghetto conversation. He's from Detroit. I'm from Chicago. But he said, yo, the hell is this for? He said, you got in some problems. You got some stuff going on I need to handle. I said, no, but I don't want any problems. If something jumps off, I want to make sure that you're there. The point of the story is, if you sow seed, you'll always be protected. You don't have to worry about your prospects. They'll find you if you're sowing seed properly. They will bring you more seed. They will bring you more fruit. They will bring you more clients. I have had one client bring me over in our family through Miss Yancey. I've had one person, never got in the business, bring me over 200 customers. True story. Never paid to get in the business. Like, dude, what you doing? It's like, I'll pay for you to get in. No, I just want to bless you. You took care of me so well. I just want to bless. What? What? It didn't just happen once. It happened over and over and over and over. And they just kept. See, when you treat people right, I'm telling you, when you're building your tribe, make sure you have someone that has a specific skill set that is different than others. Mrs. Jocelyn Driscoll has a specific skill set. Al Thomas has a specific, Mr. Clemens has a specific, Brian has a specific, I can go down the list. Renata has a specific, but you got to know how to use the tool and the gift that was given to you. Don't abuse it. They'll run from you. I don't have time to be, that's why I said be persistent, respectably so. That's why I changed the word and retracted it in God's name, not annoying. Become the student, align yourself with people who raise your vibration. Please write that down. Find people that look through your phone and say, who raises my vibration? Who makes me feel great when they show up on my phone? Who makes me, okay, I need that person. I need to, and when I say create a 5-minute standing, that's why I was talking about the attorney. If somebody calls me, and my team knows this, if you ask me for like, can I get 10 minutes of your time? Hell no. You want 10 minutes for what? You want me to give you 10 minutes of my time and not know what the hell we talking about? Not gonna happen. Now I will not. I'll say yes, and then you'll be getting a call in 2 months. You're like, Dr. Nothing, he didn't call me back. Yeah, you asked for 10 minutes. It's like you don't understand. To him, that's an eternity. If you get a chance and great. If you know Mr. Clemens on the phone, text him when we get off the call and ask him how long we've been chasing to have 5 minutes for a conversation. On both ends of the fence. I mean, it's like catching a fish. It has been like the whole month. It's been like, and if you look at our phone, you'll see we've been texting every freaking day. 5 minutes here. Oh. But if you have that mentor that you're looking for, you have a standing time on Monday. You find out what that person's most down day is and say, look, I just need 5 minutes from you to hear your voice. You may not have any problems. You may not have any questions. And you may not even need the 5 minutes. You may text them and they have it on their Calendly or on their calendar and say, you know what? I got some things going on. I don't want to waste your time. I'll see you next Sunday for 5 minutes. Some people you just need to see. How many people know what I'm talking about? Is anybody here with me on that? What if Greg Provenzano just said every 5 minutes, I just want to see you. Okay, we're done. Every day, you just saw, every week you saw him, or any person that you greatly respected and appreciated. Don't just meet amazing people and let them go. Blame them. Does that make sense? You guys follow me on that so far? Yeah, like Wendy just said, I'm renowned for my hugs. Rose Guerrero will tell you that. Every time I see it, I got to have a picture. Rose's husband will chase me down before Rose. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, you know what's going to happen if I seen you and I didn't take a picture, I'm not going to be able to go home. But that's not out of deification or famous. It's out of love. It's a great respect, and it's reciprocated. See, they stay on the tip of my tongue. Whose tongue? God, stick with me, and y'all stay in the adult conversation here. Speaking in tongues. Let's reframe the conversation. Are y'all with me on that so far? Whose mouth and tongue do you stay on the tip of, speaking from the most positive perspective? See, that's how your currency, that's how your equity, you guys got that, right? That's how your human equity starts to grow, is when people are calling you not just once or twice a month, but like it just is coming in. Terry told me to give you a call. Noel told me, Kavort told me that you are who I need to have a conversation with. Roxanne told me about this man, this tall, black man who walks on like Black Jesus, even though he gives Jesus all the props, and that if I wanted my life changed, I needed to have a conversation. I just wanted to text you whenever you have time, Could you make 3 minutes available to me? When do you become the centerpiece is predicated on how much you give and how much you serve. It's not on popularity of just edification, random and false conversation. It's on how you serve. It's how you write this down, become an impact player. You need to impact people's lives. I prefer to impact, like I was having a conversation with somebody when I go in, and we were training on how we actually go and connect and how do you network. When I walk in and I network right now, like right now I have Diana, who's doing a lot of my tech work for me, who's one of my angels, ST. I have a lot of angels that I have. God has a lot of work for me. That means I need a lot of angels. I started with Miss Yancey. She's the archangel. I got Wendy, and it just keeps growing. I got Kavork. I got angels. And so literally she asked me, because I said, Diane, I need you to give me my digital card. I said, Wendy has it, but I need to take it to another level. She's flying somewhere else. I have her handling a whole bunch of other stuff, but she's going to get my URL for this and doing that. Could you handle this for me? Diana said, yeah, but you just taught us that you're supposed to stop. And when you meet somebody, so when I meet Michelle Wilson, I'm sitting there and I'm saying, she's like, okay, I have my digital card. Do you have your digital card? And I'm saying, no, Michelle, I don't have my digital card. What I need you to do is I need you to type your name in my phone. And when you type your name in my phone, put your information. And then, oh, by the way, let's take a selfie. Why are we taking a selfie? Because I need you to send it to me. I'm not taking a chance on, here's my information, Michelle, call me. I want Michelle, I'm slowing the process because we live in this microwave. Is anybody getting something from this? Are y'all sticking with me on this? We live in this microwave world where everybody goes, click, click, click. Here's my, okay, no. I need this moment here with Michelle to pause. And I need her to type my name in. And then in turn, I need her to take a selfie. And then I need her to send it to me. So she never forgets me, so I never forget her. I don't want a bunch of names and numbers in my phone, and I can't remember who they were at the end of the day. So when I'm talking to Diana, she's like, well, you just taught us how to pause and get the information. What you're asking for a digital card? I said, yes. I said, I never said I don't speed date. She said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, speed date. That means I'm going to meet 20 people here, but I only want to remember 3 of them. But at some point in time, like I had a conversation last night with Beth. Beth put me on the phone with this amazing sister. Let me tell you how crazy this is. She said, I need you to hear from this young man. He's amazing. They just met within 5 minutes. She was on my call. I did a call last night. She gets on the call. She's like, I don't know what was pulling me, and God had me get on this call, but I don't even understand what y'all do. But whatever y'all doing, I'm in. She said, I need to know this man. I feel his spirit. I finished my call. They got back on the call together. She's like, I feel like I know this man. I don't know where from, but his spirit, it's just, I know the spirit. I said, okay. Beth called me. I know she didn't believe she'd be able to catch me. It was about 10:30 because I've been going nonstop like I'm going to do today. And she gets me back on the phone. I said, I'm available. Get me on the phone. I get on the phone with this older sister. She's like, you have no idea. I have, I don't have time for the story, but the short version of it is, she's like, why do I know you? And there were so many, what I call, write this down, and you want to look for them. What I call miracles should be named God appointments. And if you don't believe in God, just write it down anyway. I call them God appointments. And you should have you want your book filled with God appointments. My word, I want you to take my word for the season. God, we don't have enough time for this meal. I'm so glad I have at least 2 more Sundays and Fridays in this month. But I'm going to tell you my word that I'm living into, that I am so excited about. It was my conversation with God driving here talking to y'all. It's called, here's my word. I want you guys to steal it from me. By the way, write down R&D, R&D, R&D. It stands for rob and duplicate. Special K got it. Kavork got it. Rob and duplicate, not research and development. We steal from people that have already done great, and we duplicate it, and we get the same results. So I want you to do some R&D with me here. My R&D and my word for the season is called serendipity. I want so many if you don't know what it means, go look it up. I want so many serendipitous moments. I had one with T. I had one with Patty. I had one with Kavort. I had one with Stephanie. Me and Stephanie were talking about opportunities in the business, in our family. All that. We coach each other, we mentor each other, we speak God into each other's life. She prays over my life, as does Bree and so many other people. Edmund prays over my life. I got prayer warriors. And so all of a sudden, she's on one of my calls that she hadn't been on any calls in like a month or two. Not like she hasn't had the time. I'm like, oh, well, that's how it works. She's like, we having a conversation. She's like, yep, one of my other angels had a conversation with you. Why? Because it's called get yourself out of the way. I need you to hear some things, see some things, and then make a decision, not make a decision before you get the information. But like your child, like your mother, like you and your best friend, sometimes you're too close in one realm that you move yourself out and you have the tribe to come and say, just look and see if this interests you. We are not, write this down, we are not salespeople. We are masters. I want you to be put in your wheelhouse mastery, that word called mastery. That word, I want to master. I want to master the art of sharing. I do not want to be a salesperson. I want to be perceived as one. I don't want somebody to run from me when they see my number. I don't want people to just jump on. Are you guys following me on that so far? You want to master the art of sharing. You know, when you have people like, I mean, just amazing people in your life. I can go down the list. Like people that owe me a phone call that I reach out to, like Tosh. I mean, I have people that I love. Ken and T. Here's what I know. If they plug in like Rose, like Tosh, like so many people, that we have what I call a spiritual tie. Tosh, I and her husband came into the business on a tie. Rose, me, her husband, tie. If you hear my voice for the first time, find me or I'll find you. And it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. Does that make sense, everybody? Find Renata, find Al, find Jocelyn, find Bree, find whoever you need, but go find somebody. What is my point in closing out this training? Because I can go for another hour and not miss a beat. Build you, you don't have to go look for new people if you have people that are already in your space. And some people are just a doorway to the right person. Don't think that you can identify somebody and say, that's the one. That person sometimes is just the one to introduce you to the person. And you will run off that person because you had a perspective, you had a picture, you had a lens of how that person is supposed to be, not understanding they were never supposed to be in your business in the first place. They were just supposed to lead you to somebody. They were just supposed to bless you in that time. Hence, the better you know yourself. Here, let me leave you with this. Since I started 5 minutes late, I'm going to end with 5 minutes late. You guys know I could keep going. Oh my God, I'm just warming up. Jesus! Take the out. Okay, hold on, stick with me here. So what we talking about here? I want you to have this. I've been teaching this over and over again. Oh, there's two things I got to share with you. Okay, so let me wrap up with this. I'm gonna start with this next week. I have a system. I've shared this with you guys before that I live by. Everything is about systems. You guys understand the word system. My system is GSICC. I want to keep bringing it to you. GSICC. To me, that's for me as important as H2O. So I'm gonna leave you with the word. It stands for the G. What's the G? Y'all should know. Gratitude. The S. The G to the S to the I to the C to. So it's gratitude, servitude, impact, completion, celebrate.
You know how many of you guys keep working yourself to the bone and don't know how to celebrate yourself or the people around you? In fact, somebody who has made an impact in your life that you have people, here's what man, it's going to take me into, let me stop. Okay, here we go. Check this out. Shut up. It's okay. What we're doing here, okay, I got a lot of voices going. Learn how to edify and talk great about the people that are in your life and stop talking about the people you don't know. You know what Tony Robbins said? You know what Jack Canfield said? You know what President Clinton said? You know what was in this book? You know what Napoleon Hill? You know what I read? There are people that deserve your flowers while they're alive in your life now. Now flip the script. Give 80% power, edification, and credit to the people in your life and 20% to what you read. Stop giving 80% to people you don't know and 20% to the people that are there in your corner. Recognize and acknowledge the people that are fighting for your life right now. And if you don't have people fighting for your life, that should tell you a whole lot about yourself. If you think you're doing it all on your own, that should tell you something about yourself. If you aren't elevating to new levels, where every new level there is a new devil, that should tell you something about yourself. Grandpappy, I tell you, Grandpappy come. We'll bring out Grandpappy next week. He over there in the corner with his little, his cow milk. Here's the last thing I want you guys to have. Let me have it here. Where is it? Where is it? Here, let me move it here. I know I have it here. You guys stick with me. Last thing, I'm gonna let you guys go. I won't let y'all go. I withdraw. Oh my God. Hold on. Here we go. All right, here we are. So in the chat, bam. I'm calling on all those that love me. If I served you today, if I made a difference to you today, if you got something positive from me today, in any capacity, at 12 o'clock, I am doing an event. What this company has blessed me with, and I am a partner, though you'll see my face on it, through Camille. Some of you guys know Camille with the crown. She's very much a part of this family. Everything from Applejacks, ACN, all the way to Stealth, to the Matrix, all the way to GSA. She is a staple in every place she goes. Every one of you will know who she is. I'm supposed to be with her right now in Sri Lanka. I have another partner who is on her way to Ghana. In 5 weeks, I will be in Lagos. And then after that, those that want to come, I will be celebrating my birthday in Cape Town. And it's going to be off the chain. All that being said, I want you to understand what this business has done for me is become a giver. And what we're doing for indigenous third world countries and kids that never had popcorn and kids that never had clothes. And no, we are not that, that commercial on TV saying, donate to this and we're going to take, no, I just need you to understand this is something I'm actually doing. A lot of people are like, well, where is Dr. Nelson been? What's he doing with his time now? And what projects is he in? This is what we do. This is the end product of getting to the other side of knowing your responsibility, not your luxury, of what we do to build this wealth so that we can make a difference all over the world. And that's going to be from 12 until 2. You don't have to stay on the whole time. I'm pretty sure I'll be the first one up speaking. But that event, if you see it, nod your head if you guys see my link in there. Okay. It's in the chat. Okay. You don't see it, Bree? Oh, you know what? Because I have it under, here you go. I'm sorry, you're right. You know how you have to change the arrow because people have been messaging you? I think Wendy actually messaged me. So there it goes. Can you see it now? Okay, excellent. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the Facebook Live or the link to be able to get on with me. It'll tell you everything about what we're doing. I'm asking and imploring each one of you to join me this afternoon for whatever time frame you can. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to be back next Friday and finish up my soup, because right now it's just sitting on the counter. I didn't even get a chance to put it on the stove yet, but it's simmering. I'll make sure everything is in place and everything you need. And then if ever you guys need me, know that I'm always accessible to every one of you in this family. On behalf of Mr. Al Thomas, on behalf of Mr. Clemens, on our whole tribe, we have an amazing squad. If you're looking at this for the first time, how could you not get involved with this? This is a love fest. We have so much love and respect and fun in this family that people actually join because they've never seen it in their own family. They never even seen it in their own living room. Our commitment is going the extra mile for you to have success. That is our commitment. That is our pledge. And I'm employing each and every one of you that are listening to me that are in the family. Make it a priority to go the extra mile and do more than you've ever done in the last 12 days of this month. Act as if your life ends on the, and God forbid, but you have 12 days to live. How much productivity? God says, if you take this 12 days and you use all of your maximum human potential to get results, write down results, get results, be productive. And if you don't know how to do that, or if you've been doing the same thing for the last couple of months, go find somebody, find Jocelyn, find Renata, find Byron, find Al, find Bree, find somebody, find Brian, find somebody. Go find somebody. Please go find somebody. And say, I need to get to the next level. I want to just go to the next level. You know what? I submit. That's the hardest thing for great people to do. You have a giant in you. I know you're great. I give you permission to be even better. But the hardest thing you're going to have to do is let go and submit of what you think you know to let new in and be guided. Just shut up and listen. Call somebody and say, this is what I want. Shut up. Don't familiarize yourself with the conversation. Oh, yeah. No, stop nodding your head. Stop saying, yeah, shut up. Just get a pen and a recorder and take notes. And then go take action and prove that you know it in your results. I am complete for the day. I hope that breakfast was good for you as it was for me. Let me say one thing. I didn't finish the story of what happened with Beth. So the sister, her name's Teresa, was there on the call. We weren't supposed to get on the call. She got on the call. She's like, I know you from somewhere. She remembered me, you guys. From 25 to 30 years, I started in 1995. I started when I was 1 year old in this company. Yeah, I was one. 1999, Diana, I'll come through this screen and choke you. All y'all laughing, I'll come get you. I started in 1995. I just turned 1 year old. And there was a group that had the momentum that dominated called Tag Team. And I was one of the pillars of that entire group. One of the last of the Mohicans and still the last man to stand. And she actually remembered me all the way back to Delzino, to Montreal, to Passion Steve Carter, to 1995 when it started. The company started in 1993. That's how early. Terry knows, because Terry was with me. There's probably only 2 people on here that have been with me that long. But it was that long. Are you guys with me on that so far? That's crazy. And she got on the call with me last night. That's where the familiar soul came from. She was like, I knew you. She said, you were a firebug then. I remember you and Troy when you first started. You were the reason California stood. And she kept going. I was like, I call it God appointments, and I call it reflection of souls. You're always going to find soul ties. They never leave. Space and time in the physical world, but they always come back around. Does that make sense, everybody? And then you'll meet old souls, like Winston is an old soul. I got so many old souls of people, they never leave. The right people, it's like you become, it's almost like you morph into one with the right people. You don't have to force the right relationship. I'm gonna say it again. Write this down, I'm gonna finish, I'm sorry. Breeze started triggering me and I started thinking, you don't have to force the right relationships in your life. You don't have to figure out if this is right or not. It's just right. Now you may have to figure out the path, but you don't have to figure out the person. If you overthink the person, it probably is the wrong person. They shouldn't be there. The path is always going to be tricky because it's timing, when, who, how, God, why. Because you can't control feelings. Feelings are like, you know, I tell it all the time, feelings are emotions. Emotions are like love. That's what love is. You can't ever explain love until you fall out of love. Oh, when you out of love, oh, this is why I thought I loved him. This is what he acted like. But when you're in love, tell me about, I can't explain it. That's a love affair with the right, intimate, personal soul tie. They just fit. And you feel lighter. If you got people on your phone and that you're talking to that don't make you feel lighter and feel good, you should probably get them out your phone and get them out your life. I'm just saying. Now I'm complete. Thank you, Bree.